Most people, if you ask them, say that Islam is a religion based on the Quran, but it's not a religion and it's not based on the Quran. Muslims themselves say that Islam is a complete way of life. It tells you how to have sex. It tells you how to go to the bathroom. So to call it a religion is too small. The other thing is, it's not only based on the Quran. There's not enough information in the Quran to practice the religion of Islam. For instance, it says pray. Actually, it says pray 3 times a day, but the Sunnah calls for prayer 5 times a day. Islam is based on Quran, Sirah, Hadith, not just the Quran. So this is good news because most people think that you can't understand Islam no matter what you do. But Islam actually, once you take the Quran, the Sirah, and the Hadith and edit them correctly, are very easy to read. So we're now left with the question, why political Islam? Well, once you know you're reading Quran, Sirah, Hadith, something strikes you immediately, particularly in the Sirah. Most of it is not about how to be a Muslim. Most of it is about what to do to the kafir, the non-Muslim. So this is unusual. For instance, if you read Buddhist sutras, it's about how to be a Buddhist. It's not about condemning non-Buddhists. But the Quran is filled with hatred towards the non-believer, the kafirs, I call it. That's the actual word the Quran uses for us. So if you take all the words in the Quran, the Sirah, and the Hadith, and add them up, and then divide them into the parts that deal with the kafir and the parts that deal with religion, you find out that there's 51% of the text is devoted to the non-believer. This is what I call political Islam, and that is the only part of Islam that I care about. Think about it. I don't care anything at all about the religion, good, bad, or indifferent. I just have no interest in the religion of Islam. But I do have a big interest in political Islam because it talks about me. Let me give you an example of how to sort these out. In the United States now, in some cities where they're large enough, Muslims will commandeer the streets and lead public prayer. And you say, well, that's a religious act. The prayer is a religious act. Commandeering the street is a political action. You see the difference? Because if I did that and you did that, we would have policemen write us a ticket and remove us from the street. But if Muslims do it, they get a free pass. So I want you to see that something is political when it affects us. Now, there are parts about Islam that deal only with Muslims and yet can still wind up dealing with us.